Hey guys, it's Bailey and welcome back to my garden. So I've been doing a lot more research on grow bags and I just wanted to share some of the pros and cons that I have come across today. And yeah, let's get started. I would definitely say some of the first things I've come across is the cost of the grow bags. So I bought a 12 pack and that was about 17 for 12 of these, and I had bought 2, so that's 34. Yeah, and then I also noticed that the bigger grow bags are a lot cheaper than your traditional grow pots, your traditional nursery plastic pots, you know? I also found a hard time trying to find them as well. All I could see is just like 30-gallon, 15-gallon grow bags. They're like getting rid of them. And another one, number 2, would be it prevents root rot and it also prevents root bound because of the material, as you can see. However, I'd like to talk more about this material. Pro number 3 is mobility. So these things, well, the bigger ones, especially when you're carrying them around after watering them, they can be a little bit heavy, but if you're renting and you have maybe just a balcony, you can just move these around, or in the hotter seasons, if you want to move your plants into a more shaded area, you can do that. It's very good to start out your garden, I'd say, with some of these. So while I'm recording, my partner actually just brought up like a super good point. So these handles, normal traditional pots don't actually have them, and they tend to slip out of your hand, right? But with these, especially like a bigger one, if you're trying to move that, you can have just maybe yourself, or depending on how big the pot is, 2 people, and you can lift them up, see? And they're pretty sturdy too. I've never had a problem with it breaking. You know, I'm sure over time that over the years they'll break due to just, you know, deteriorating. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. And I also wanted to say, when you have this on, oh my goodness. I just wanted to say that if you have this on maybe a wooden surface, to be specific, you'd want to raise this up and make sure that this bottom isn't directly touching whatever it is that you're on. I'm sure that it's fine on the ground, like the grass outside, but on like, you know, a deck somewhere, maybe some cement or wood, you'd want to raise this up on like a pallet. That would work, or some cinder blocks or something. And the last one is storage, because if you don't have a whole lot of storage, and you know, because right next to me over here is filled with just pots. So I have, and oh yeah, and like 15% of that is these. So yeah, these are quite great for that, I would say. Especially, you know, going back to like if you're renting or you don't have a whole lot of space. You can just dump the dirt out into your compost and fold these back up. They came vacuum sealed, so yeah. Very good to just kind of like maybe put away in like a Ziploc bag, or if you do have a vacuum seal, you could do that too. All right, and now, so there's not many cons to these grow bags. Just one that I figured out. I guess that the material, especially the one I have in my hand right here, this is actually like a plastic-based felt, and it's also dyed. So the one thing about these though is that they last longer. This kind that's plastic, not so good to the earth. I just figured this out now. They're, yeah, that kind of changed my mind. I'm definitely going to get a real garden going, but I'd say these are very good for starting a garden, but that is something to keep in mind. I'm still going to grow my veggies. I'm going to show you guys how they work out this year. I'm very excited still, but keep in mind, they aren't like biodegradable or anything. I did look up a environment-friendly, non-toxic version, and they're similar to burlap bags, like a potato sack, and they're made out of that material. However, I did hear about them not lasting as long as these, which would make sense. But however, if you're starting a garden, just 1 year, you want to like get to know it, those would probably work out for you. I heard that if they're set right on the ground, the bottom may disintegrate, so you gotta be careful of that. So those were the pros and cons of these garden bags. I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to give you kind of the real raw truth of garden bags. And yeah, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be using them in my garden this year to start out. Definitely plan on having some raised beds eventually, but I'd say these are a good start. They're temporary, and you can move them around, you know, I can figure out what plants thrive in what sunlight in my yard. It's a good way to get to know your yard. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.